Swami Yogananda Giri has so beautifully developed the spiritual, cultural, and religious traditions as expounded by his guru, Swami Geethananda Giri, in the Geethananda Ashram. Each time I visit it, I am filled with amazement, awe of how he has created that wonderful spirit of yoga in each and every part of the ashram. And it is to his credit that he has enabled that spirit, that love, that Guru Bhakti to spread in each and every one of his students all over Italy too. At Pondicherry, while continuing my father's work with the blessings of my mother, Ammaji, Meenakshi Devi Bhavanani, what has struck me is that my father's and Guru's scientific aspect to yoga should be taken forward. Because Swamiji was one of the first, because of his background in yoga from the childhood and later on his medical background, coupled with the wisdom he developed by living in the world in so many countries. His teachings that explained the ancient concepts of yoga, those traditional concepts of classical Rishi culture yoga, he was able to explain them in a scientific manner so that the modern human being, the modern person, can understand them as they are meant to be understood. Swamiji enabled us to understand that we don't just have one body, Eka Kosha, but we have the Pancha Kosha, the Annamaya, the anatomical physical level of existence, the Pranamaya, our energy level of existence, the Manomaya, where the mind comes in, the psychological aspect of our existence, the Vijnanamaya, our intellectual level of existence, where the Buddhi, that intellect comes in, the higher mind, and that Buddhi having the three powers of Ichcha, Kriya and Jnana Shakti. Ichcha Shakti, the willpower, the power of intent. Kriya Shakti, the power of action. And Jnana Shakti, the power of wisdom. All these three are part of the Vijnanamaya Kosha. And then finally our universal level of existence, that Anandamaya Kosha, where we are in tune with our universal nature. Swamiji enabled us to understand the 9 aspects of human existence, including the Ayurvedic and yogic concept of the Sapta Dhatu, the 7 aspects of our physical existence, such as the bone, the blood, the muscle. He developed it further into the non-physical aspects, bringing in the higher 3, the chakras, the pranas, the level of the higher consciousness, bringing it into the 12 aspects, the Dwadasha Krama, of which we can understand ourselves. He enabled us to understand these ancient concepts, very beautiful concepts, in modern terminology, with that scientific, rational, objective outlook that is so essential on the path of yoga. We have continued Swamiji's aspects of yoga chikitsa, the therapeutic aspect, taking yoga to the patients in the hospital where I am working, enabling the yoga as a therapy, especially as a lifestyle, modifying one's lifestyle, how we eat, how we think, how we sleep, what do we do with our free time, how do we relax, what are our ambitions, our aspirations, what type of sankalpa do we have? Are we dealing with the viparita buddhi, the negative aspects that pull us down away from a state of health? All of these concepts are brought in the yoga chikitsa that we give our patients. And thousands of patients, more than 30,000 at Jipma and now more than 12,000 here at Saita, have benefited from this yoga chikitsa based on the classical teachings that Swamiji has given. I have personally, since the year 2000, been continuing the yoga research aspect, that Swamiji started in the 1970s and later on in the 80s by cooperating with JIPMER and Dr. Madan Mohan, who is my yoga research guru also and continues to guide me right till this day. We have been researching why does yoga work? How does it work? When does it work? In whom does it work? We have tried to understand what happens when you do a pranayama. For example, Swamiji researched Savitri pranayama in Shavasana right in the 1980s. We have again repeated those experiments. What happens when you do Savitri pranayama? Sitting down. What happens when you lie down and do it? There is a difference. What happens when you do simple Sukha pranayama? Breathing in for 6, out for 6. What happens to your blood pressure? What happens when you do left nostril breathing? Chandra Anuloma or Chandra Nadi pranayama. What happens if you do right nostril Surya Nadi or Surya Anuloma pranayama? We have been exploring how the Mukha Bastrika, how that Mukha Bastrika can help young students, school students, improve their learning capacity, and in children who have mental handicapped, where the IQ is lower, how it can help them improve the speed of reaction that will then help them learn better, have a better memory, better attention span. We have seen how the effects of yoga over a period of a couple of weeks, a couple of months, how it can help people who have hypertension, people who have diabetes. We have also explored how if you can start the yoga practice when someone with a thyroid problem, hypothyroid, where thyroid is functioning less, if you can start the yoga, you can prevent them from even starting the medication. We have seen how low back, neck, shoulder, joint problems can be helped by yoga. For me, this has been a path of continuing my father, my guru, Swami Gitananda's work. Keeping the spirit of Gitananda Yoga, keeping the spirit of classical traditional teachings of yoga, that Rishi culture alive through the medical world, the therapeutic world, publishing papers where people can understand that yoga does work, and also helping us to reaffirm our commitment to yoga by understanding that it does work and also getting to know how does it work. And for me personally, when doesn't it work? Because there are people who seem to be resistant to the effects of yoga. Because if you are going to be helped by yoga, first of all, faith is an important component, Shraddha, conviction, to say, okay, I am going to do this, and then to do it. Many people who benefit from the yoga, they stop practicing after some time because of laziness. The tamasika guna pulls them down. So these are challenges we have been facing, and taking Swamiji's teachings forward in a scientific manner, in a manner that the scientific community, the modern people can understand. And at the same time, not forgetting the traditional cultural basis, which through Yoganjali Natyalayam, giving hundreds of young children the yoga, the Bharatanatyam and the Carnatic music, giving them the culture, the cultural foundation that can keep them balanced as they grow in the professional life. At ICYR, at Ananda Ashram, continuing the 6-month teachers training, we keep the traditional teachings started by Swamiji alive, and this year we'll be conducting the 47th year of this life-changing course. Ammaji makes sure always that these traditional teachings are kept alive in that Gurukula system, where a small group of students are learning in the family of the Guru, becoming a member of the Guru's family. Just as all of you are a big part of my life, my Italian yoga family. May we always grow, May we glow in yoga. May that spirit of yoga keep us going. And may we always live a life that showcases that respect, love, and gratitude we have for yoga. The work that Swami Yogananda Giri is doing in keeping that spiritual, cultural, religious aspect of Swamiji alive. We are continuing at the Sri Kambli Swami Madam with the traditional pujas for all the gurus. There is a beautiful complement here. There is a very beautiful balance where each and every facet of our Guru Parampara, as going back to Swami Kanakananda Bhrigu, the Guru of Swami Geetananda, and his Gurus, going back through Swami Vividishananda, Swami Purnananda, all the way back to the great Rishi, Bhrigu himself. And then the South Indian traditional lineage that Swami Shankaragiri brought us in to at the Sri Kambli Swami Madam, going back to Kambli Swamigal, going all the way back to the great South Indian Rishi, Agastya. All this coming together, the North Indian tradition, the Bhrigu Vamsa and the Agastya Vamsa from the south, coming together, bringing those concepts of mantra, yantra and tantra alive, keeping them alive in different forms. This is the beautiful synergy that is going on between the Swami Geetananda Ashram in Italy and our own Ananda Ashram at ICYR in Pondicherry. Each of us helping each other to grow together, to grow in spirit, evolve consciously towards that ultimate goal of moksha. Because as Swami Geetananda Giri told us, health and happiness are your birthright. Claim them, or rather reclaim them through yoga. Moksha, Kaivalya, Mukti, liberation is your goal. Attain it through yoga. My wish on this International Day of Yoga is that each and every one of us should work towards attaining Kaivalya. May we all have that happen through our conscious evolution. Hari Om.